All right. So my day started, as many days for you, some of you, with looking on Facebook. Whatever. Judge me. And it started with someone writing that Aries sired the zodiac, meaning that Aries gave birth to the zodiac. And I said, I would talk to the guy and we're like, you can have your delusion that Aries sired the whole zodiac, but that's not how most people see it or astrology sees it. It starts off with a different story, in my opinion. It starts off with the story of everything kind of coming together, being a clump, almost an incoherent mass of energy and things coming together, sort of like how we talk about the Big Bang. You can imagine Pisces as this moment where we're caught up in all kinds of feelings, being caught up in the whole dilemma of the very idea of being, but at the same time not knowing exactly which way things are going to go. Sort of like how this season may go according to this weekend, right? We've had nice temperatures. One day it feels like it's spring, almost summer, and then there's talk of snow. Oh, yeah. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Pisces in miniature. All right? The idea of being one thing, yet another thing, and going with the flow. So Pisces really encapsulates that moment of not necessarily knowing, only by some sense of intuition. Sort of like our political climate, to some degree. Right? Because here we are, where we thought we had made so much progress in our country. In terms of race, gender, class, and we have this word that keeps coming in my mind, miasma of feeling that seems to want to wash over all of that, like the sea, as if suddenly it can be erased. Perhaps we have found ourselves thinking a lot about fear. That can be also a Pisces signature. Dealing with the feeling like, well, how are we going to make it? How do we survive? What's the point of kind of keep going on when you never know when someone might break out and call you the F word, the N word, or something else? Could be from a little girl, it could be from a boy, it could be someone who's claiming to want to be the president of the United States. How do we trust being in the world? Right. Pisces really kind of encapsulates that moment of not knowing where we're going to go. But there's an interesting thing to know about Aries. Aries is ruled by this planet Mars. And there's something astronomically interesting about Mars. Mars is positioned as the fourth planet away from the sun, and what surrounds Mars is a huge asteroid belt, putatively of a supposedly banged up planet. It could be Nibiru. People have all kinds of theories on what that planet might be. But it is an asteroid belt. Now that's interesting, because Mars is on the frontier between us and the rest of the known galaxy beyond the sun. That gives you some idea of what Mars for Aries is about. Mars is about being on the front line. What cuts through the miasma of not knowing, of fear, and being and not being is Mars. The destiny of Aries, the destiny of being first, is not so you can say with pride, I have sired the zodiac. It is not with the idea that you are first in order to get the greatest level of privilege. Aries is not first because you have to win at everything and be the best at everything. Aries is not first because it's been entitled to that by virtue of whatever. You're first to cut through the fear. You're first in line for anything that dares to come against and assail the way of being for any living thing. There's a reason why Aries is dubbed as I am. And whatever you want to dare say that I am, whether you dare say I am queer, I am right, I follow Jesus, I follow Muhammad, I am good, I am black, I am woman, I am man, all those I ams exist as the very definition of what a being is, whatever you may be. That I am has to be protected. You have to stand against the fear, even though the fear may be there. Even that whole idea of destruction and what can swallow you, like a whale swallowing you from the sea, again, the Pisces imagery. The truth is how you navigate that fear to honor your very sense of being, who you are. You are the front line. We can't succumb to fear in these times.
That's right.
You may see everything around you changing and not knowing where the wind is going to blow.
That's right.
You may not know how far you'll be able to go. You may not know how you're going to pay your bills. You may not know how you're going to be able to take care of yourself in terms of your health care. But the real daring of Aries, the real reason why it's first, is to be able to say, fuck it, however it goes, I'm stepping forward. So those Aries who think you are entitled to your pride, think that being first is just about the glamour of being first, you are deceiving yourselves. You are a coward. The real power of Aries, of Mars, is to be on the front line, to defend yourself, to defend what's right, to defend your sense of being, however you want to define it. Now, I'm going to mention a bad name, and you may not like the name, but I want to tell you a lesson about fire, because that's what Aries is. Donald Trump is a Leo rising. What? 29 degrees. Now, let me say something about Donald, because I'm not going with this where you think. He is doing the work of his fire. He is rallying his tribe.
We better rally ours.
In this time of Aries, however you define yourself in all the ways I listed earlier or beyond, you better step forward with your fire.
Yep, there it is.
If you don't step forward with your fire, then you will be caught up in the miasma, in the chaos, and the ocean of non-being. Aries cuts through the non-being in order to be. That's why you're first. Thank you.